This is now terms part 2. These terms, I've got 9 of them here, and they are not used quite as technically as these are up here all the time, although there are some technical aspects to them, but they are important to at least be exposed to and to understand. And I will have to break these up into probably several videos because there are 9. It would take me a long time to talk through each one. First of all is an agent, and remember up here we had a threat agent, and I said, well, it could be a person, but it could also be a flood or a system itself or a group. So let's talk about that a little bit. Any person, program, operating system, or other entity that can gain access to data, not just a user. Sometimes we call these principals, by the way, and I have a little try it yourself here to show you an example of what we mean by a principal, or where that word principal is used. So I'm just going to go over here to my File Explorer, and you can see I've got a folder selected. I'm going to right click that folder, go down to Properties, and when the Properties comes up, I'll go to Security. And what you see are groups and usernames, and let me just click Advanced here to make this, to really bring this home. When I click Advanced, you'll see this thing's called the Access Control List. Here's what it applies to, where it inherits permissions from, what kind of access, and so forth. And then something called a principal. And you notice that a user, in this case, that's a user. These are groups. Down here, administrators, authenticated users, and then the system itself is a principal. So these principals can be, in this case, the operating system is what system refers to. So the operating system is an agent or a principal. This user is an agent or a principal. This group is an agent or a principal. And you can see this word principal used in this case. So quite interesting that we can use both terms, but they both mean essentially the same thing in different systems. You'll hear me use the word agent a lot, by the way, as we go through the rest of these videos. All right, I'm going to cut this one off, and then we'll take on some of these others in separate videos.